Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Another wonderful Neville nugget coming our way. Out of the Feeling is the Secret book, also, of course, in my reader, but it's the first chapter, and it talks about the law of consciousness. And this is actually a very fascinating chapter, one. Two, the few snippets. I'm going to read a bit out of this, so I apologize in advance, but it's important to tie these two pieces together. So this is about the law of consciousness and how we manifest through our consciousness. And what I find amazing about this is, one, it gets into feelings, but two, it talks about the way feelings are kind of impressed upon our psyche and how those feelings have to find expression. They have to. So let's get into it. It's freaking awesome. I love this. Consciousness is the one and only reality, not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened unto a stream which is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. In order to intelligently operate the law of consciousness, it is necessary to understand the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is the personal and selective. The subconscious is impersonal and non-selective. The conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. These two aspects are the male and female divisions of consciousness. The conscious is male, the subconscious is female. The conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious receives ideas and gives form and expression to them. So let me say that again, because this is really important. The conscious generates ideas and it impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious then receives these ideas and gives form to them. It's the subconscious that's actually doing the creating. It's the conscious part of us that's feeding it the feelings, as we'll get to, but it's the conscious mind that's actually finding facts and effects and things and looking at what's going on right now and saying, I don't like this, I do like this is good, this is bad. That's the conscious mind. And then it impresses that to the subconscious and it gives form to it. So for those of us that are maybe focusing on things that we don't like and trying to figure out how to make something go away, how can I change something about somebody or they keep doing it, how do I stop that from happening? By focusing on it, you're consciously sending your subconscious reasons to keep that going. You're having an experience with this. So let's keep going because this gets better. So by this law, first conceiving any idea and then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious. All things evolve out of consciousness. And without this sequence, there is not anything made that is made. The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. Let me say that last sentence. The conscious impresses the subconscious, meaning it impresses it in a way, it gives it thoughts, gives it feelings, gives it something to work with. It tells it, hey, here's what I'm asking of you. And then the subconscious expresses, makes real that thing that was just impressed upon it. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true. And, in a way known only to itself, it objectifies the accepted ideas. Let me say that again. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true, and in a way known only to itself, objectifies the accepted ideas. Therefore, through his power to imagine and feel, and his freedom to choose the ideas he will entertain, man has control over creation. Control of the subconscious is accomplished through control of your ideas and feelings. Now, I've had a lot of people say, how do you control your ideas? First off, there's a difference between letting your mind just run free and focus on whatever it wants to, and really from a standpoint of the way society has tried to program you, that's what they want you to do. They want you to just accept what is given to you and then react, and then that's perfect. But what Neville Goddard's saying is, no. Control your ideas. You think about what you would like to think about. You focus on what you would like more of. You Instead of letting your mind run wander, you actually focus it on a direction, on something specific, on something that you're interested in, on someone you love, perchance. You choose what you're going to focus and think about, what you're going to impress upon your subconscious. And then your subconscious just does what it's supposed to and gives birth to this form, this thing that's been impressed upon it. It expresses it in the physical form. It does the creation for us. So we're almost there. The mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depths of the subconscious, the female aspect or the womb of creation. The subconscious transcends reason and is independent of induction, which means it can't be coerced into doing what you want it to do. It can't be inducted that way. It can't be induced. It's electricity can be inducted. Anyway, all this, I don't want to get off track. It contemplates a feeling as a fact existing within itself, and on this assumption, proceeds to give expression to it. The creative process begins with an idea, and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. Just immediately begins to try to create this. The second it receives the feeling, it's like, okay, that's how you feel. Let's make that real. Let's make it so. Let's express that. Let's create that. Let's make that happen. So ideas are impressed on the subconscious through the medium of feeling. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once felt, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it must be expressed. Must be expressed. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. Therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. By control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression of your feeling, but rather the discipline of self to imagine and entertain only such feeling as contributes to your happiness. Meaning, think about good stuff. Kind of get you feeling better, get you focused in that better direction, right? So control your feeling is all important to full and a happy life. Never entertain an undesirable feeling, nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. Do not dwell on the imperfection of yourself or others. To do so is to impress the subconscious with these limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel that it is done unto you or another. This is the whole law of a full and happy life. Everything else is commentary. Last part, every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of an opposite nature, must be expressed. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. I am healthy is a strong feeling, then I will be healthy. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. I am in stronger than I am not. Or I am stronger than I am not. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression. And unless it's countered by a more powerful feeling, it must be expressed. What are more powerful feelings sometimes than maybe love? Maybe thinking of someone we love. What's the thing that so many of us sometimes do? We get scared, right? We start to feel those feelings. We start to worry about what it is that we might not get. We start to pay attention to what didn't happen. We're trying to manifest people to do certain behaviors even sometimes, which kind of gets outside of that. Instead of focusing on, if we're going to do imaginal work, let's imagine the way we'd like it to be. Let's get to that state of feeling where it feels wonderful, where we know we have this, where we've got that love in our hearts of this person we're thinking of, or the feeling of wealth, or the feeling of having that new place and smelling that new carpet or whatever. Having that feeling of this creates, it impresses on the subconscious, which then causes the creation. It is the feeling that does the creation. And what I think has been discussed before, and I kind of like this one better, but if you have two feelings, it's not necessarily which one's 51% and which one's 49%. Which one did you feel stronger? You love somebody a lot, but I'm so scared I'm never going to get them back. Not getting them back is what you're going to create, because that's the bigger feeling. That fear that they're going to not love you, or that fear that they're not coming back, or that fear that things aren't what we want them to be is stronger than the feeling of enjoyment of having it. It's not that, oh, but I only thought that for like 10 seconds and then immediately started thinking positive thought, affirmation. It's not the words. We've said this before. It's not the words that create. It's the feeling. So your affirmations are great, sometimes just to get you thinking in a different direction because it helps you focus. But it doesn't necessarily feel any better when you're just coming out of a negative place. So yes, using affirmations, controlling the direction that your thoughts are going, yes, and then continue down that path. Continue down that path till you finally get to the place where you start to feel better. And from there, your consciousness, subconscious, instantly begins to express what you are now currently feeling. Whatever works to get you into that feeling place. A lot of people are going to be like, how do I do that? Well, you need to know yourself. You need to learn you. What are thoughts that get you thinking that make you feel better? Thoughts of being with your specific person, thoughts of having more money, thoughts of what is this thing that you're trying to create? Why are you here watching, right? What are you trying to create in your life? Which thoughts create the best feelings? Which thoughts, when you entertain them, create that wonderful feeling that you'd like to see expressed? And then when we notice that certain triggers cause us to go off into other things, maybe hopping on Instagram and noticing them, right? Maybe they're part of your feed and you don't want to unfriend them because you're afraid what that might look like. And so when you see them, sometimes that triggers you to go into this weird place. If that's your case, stop with the Instagram. Either A, just stop going on it. And if that's too hard, I get it, then I would unsubscribe or stop being friends with someone for a time being. Because what it's going to do is it's going to help you not have those triggers. So what is the trigger that causes you to go off into a different direction? Because otherwise, stay focused on where you'd like to go. Realize that by feeling this way and being in this thought and imagining is the creative aspect. And once you do that, it needs to express itself. It has to. And so that expression will continue to be pushed out. And maybe if it's an issue of uniting with somebody, once that expression's been pushed out enough times, it creates this attractive force to that individual. You start to feel very attractive. And you start to have scenes pop into their head because now their higher selves are trying to help you, right? It's this whole expression and how we're all together. Consciousness. We're all conscious beings running around this sphere, spinning in space, just traveling through voids at high rates of speed. But yet we're all running around trying to figure it out. It's awesome. So get yourself to that place where you can feel it. Understand those places that cause you to get out of that feeling and really use that to your advantage. That's your special print. That's your DNA on how you manifest your specific person or your thing that you desire. Keeping yourself in the feeling place of where you're going and realizing it's working and it feels good and I'm seeing it around me and I'm noticing it starts to reaffirm its own self because you're thinking of it and you're expressing it. So then the very next day or 5 minutes later, coincidence happens and you're like, haha, there's my sign, right? You're not doing it for that reason, but you'll get the indications. You'll see in the outer world these inner feelings expressed. When you really pay attention, when you really notice what's going on, when you are present in the moment, and you've put some time into this, and thoughts into this, and feelings into this, and you've got a very strong emotion with someone, you will experience things throughout the day, and you will be moving in that direction. So remember to keep your feelings in check. I'm not saying deny them. You should always feel what you're feeling. But it's a question of what you're thinking about that causes the feelings. That is where we kind of need to be more responsible. We need to be better stewards of our thoughts, of our consciousness, of our conscious mind, so that we can properly impress upon our subconscious all the things that we desire. Neville Goddard, guy's a rock star. Gotta love him. Stay on Radio Style.